Hey guys, this is SoCal Expeditions. We are boxing the frame, and I'm taking this video as there's been a good amount of work already done, and it's been on a time crunch, so I haven't been able to film much. But I'm gonna kind of show you guys on the regular cab short bed Tundra in one take what's going on. So there is no bed boxing kit for this truck. All of these plates had to be made by Ryan, Iron Rhino Fab, to box the C-channel in. And the reason why you want to do this, if you're off-roading the truck, is to get rid of that bed bounce, bed jiggle, and really strengthen the frame. You want to box this thing all the way from the back up until pretty much right here is where we are stopping. The fuel tank is right there. It's covered in this fire blanket, and you do have to drop the tank a little bit in order to gain access to that section right there. Underneath here, it starts getting doubled up, so it's 2 times as thick as right here. Maybe not, but you can see that there's 2 layers of metal that is supporting underneath the cab. So we're not touching anything this point and on. We're just touching the back half. So these plates are dimple die. Dimple dies, when you do that, it adds extra strength and rigidity to the plates, as well as it kind of enables you to be able to paint a little bit more than if you didn't. These corner pieces, so you can see like this corner is tied into the factory cross member. This is where your spare tire goes. We decided to leave this here, and I wanted to leave it because I have my factory spare underneath the truck. And another benefit of the way that we're doing it is I believe that it's going to help aid with the torsional twist. This is going into the plate, which is going into the frame, which is in theory going to put all of the force instead of on the frame and the twist. Instead, it's going to make the suspension work. And as you can see, I have 3.0s. I'm okay with making the suspension work. Overall, this job, I would give it, if you're trying to, do it like this, at least 2 days. At minimum, because making these plates is very difficult. It's labor intensive, as well as we're boxing everything, these corner pieces, and you have to remove the bed, you have to pull all the lines up front here, the wiring harnesses, and get them out of the way. Overall, I don't know how much of a difference this is going to make, and I think it's going to be pretty significant. And the reason what led me here is because, first, there's a lot of bed bounce and bed jiggle and wiggle in the bed on these double cab Tundras, as well as the regular cab short bed, and maybe even the Crew Max. With enough of that twist, you're going to end up smacking the bed into the cab, and we're trying to prevent that because we are adding a Topo Topper's ring con to the truck. This is the way to technically bulletproof it. So we're doing the best that we can, and I think this is going to be a pretty good solution overall for the truck. Another thing to keep in mind on these double cabs, as well as the regular cab short bed, is you have no front bed mount. So there's nothing here supporting the bed. This is going to be our next thing to do, is to get some kind of structural support here and supporting the bed in the front to keep the bed from cracking. And I'll actually show you guys what that looks like in a second. With how the bed has no support up front. So here is the underside of the bed. This is towards the tailgate at the top, and then this right here is towards the cab. So you can see this is the last bed bolt towards the cab. So we need additional support here going across the front of the bed, because most of the weight of these campers does sit right here. Now, when you don't add extra support, you'll start cracking the bed right here, and it'll most likely just dip and fall apart. This part is going to dip, crack, and you're going to have a loose bed, and we don't want that. So in the future, we'll put a bar across here. You have enough room behind the seat shield, and 2 additional mounting points, one on this side and one on this side, and that's going to be on the frame. You're going to drill through the bed and bolt it through the frame, and that will help add some additional support. So overall, this is a pretty labor intensive job. For removing the bed, 3 people minimum, 4 people recommended. You want 1 person in the back, 2 people up front, and then once it starts coming back, you want 1 person up front to just help support it. And overall, if you're looking to do this, you can hit up Iron Rhino Fab on Instagram, and if you want suspension installed, anything else, he can help you out. Or if you need these plates cut out and you are an experienced welder, as well as I'm good at DIY and modifying things, you can do this yourself. All right guys, that is it. The frame is completely boxed on the truck. It drives significantly better. There is no more bed movement on the freeway. I can no longer watch the bed coming close to being in contact with the cab of the truck. It is just night and day difference. A lot of the stress that was being put on the frame has now moved into the suspension, which is exactly what I wanted. This is part one of part two of preparing this truck to put a heavier camper on the bed sides. I believe this is really important to do if you want to build the best overall truck that you can accidentally hit a whoop at a higher speed and be okay, as well as just taking larger hits and knowing that you're not going to bend the frame or you're not going to crack the bed. This was something that had to be done, and I went ahead and did it on this truck. It took about 15 hours of work in total, from pulling the bed, moving all the lines, pulling the bumper, dropping the fuel tank, building all the plates in CAD, and then setting them to the plasma table, cutting them out, dimple dyeing them, bringing them onto the truck, tack welding them, forming them, finish welding them in sections at a time to not put too much heat in one section, and then painting it and everything. It's a lot of work. If you're gonna do this, I plan for 2 to 3 days of time, and you need to be able to really just be a skilled fabricator to do it. I can't do it. I'm not the skilled fabricator. Ryan, huge kudos to you for helping us out and me out with this project. It came out perfect, and the improvements are very, very, very noticeable. I'm glad I did it. And if you have a C-channel frame, you're gonna add weight to the bed sides. This is, in my opinion, mandatory to do. Hopefully some of the videos that are showing the plates and how we set things can help you out if you're planning on doing this yourself. I believe this is the only video on YouTube that covers boxing the frame of a Tundra. So I hope it's a resource to you, and I'll see you guys in the next one for part two of getting the bed ready for having a camper on it, where we're gonna actually build an additional front bed support for that last 15 inches that are completely unsupported on these double cab and regular cab short bed Tundras. See you guys in the next one. Keep on camping.